Hi, welcome to Contentstack Live. I'm your host, Jeff Baher, along with my assistant, Austin Chen. Joining us today is Susan Beermann, Chief Marketing Officer here at Contentstack. Hey, Susan, welcome to the program.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be one of the first to record a Contentstack Live session, one of many, many more to come. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. It's our honor. Thank you. So the topic, why digital first marketing starts with a composable DXP. Let's start maybe with the definition. Just in your mind, what is digital first? We've got a couple of props here along the way just to kind of keep us on track here. But yeah, what is digital first? Like, what does that mean? How do marketing leaders kind of think about that as a term?
Yeah, when I think about digital first, I really think about it's really embracing digital interaction with your customers or your audiences, right? And it's being the primary mechanism for reaching whatever audience it is you're trying to reach and meeting them wherever they are. It could be, of course, a website, the most obvious, a mobile device, an app. It could be signage in a building or at a conference. It could be, electronic billboards through the airport as you're boarding your flight. Even at the gas station now, there's opportunities to serve up content to various audiences. And so really taking advantage of the power of digital to reach customers in a very personalized way is what I think about when I think about digital first. And it's not an afterthought. It's not an add-on. I think it's becoming more and more the first and foremost thing that we think about and that we look to implement and continuously improve as our consumers, let's face it, they demand really, really good customer experiences, and they can vote with their feet and go to a different site or a different competitor if you don't keep competitive and offer a really great digital experience to your customers.
Yeah, I like that idea that it's not like an afterthought and that it's something that's kind of woven through the thinking and the organization. What do you see if you kind of like peel back digital first? Like what are the ingredients that people could think about when they kind of arrive at that and develop an initiative?
Yeah, well, I think it all starts with strategy, right? What is it you're trying to accomplish? What are your business objectives? And setting that strategy in place, and think about what with the end in mind, what is the ultimate thing that you're trying to achieve? And then it's really about the people and the tech. It's you can't just have one without the other, right? You've got to have the right team with the right mindset and the right skill set. And then you have to pick the best technologies to really achieve the objectives of your strategy. So, when you look at your team, and when I look at my team, is like, are people thinking digital first? Are we thinking about how do we reach our audiences in the appropriate means via the most efficient and obvious digital channel that they are consuming? And then make sure that, the team is constantly, up to speed on the latest and greatest, right? It's evolving so quickly. So what we know today is awesome, but what we're going to need to know tomorrow is going to be very, very differently. And so, first of all, hiring people that have that mindset that things are going to change and that they're adaptable and they will embrace that change in a positive manner. And two, either training them or augmenting your team with people who have very specialized digital skills is really, really critical. And then, organizing the team to be thinking digital first, right? So, demand gen is maybe an old term now. It's all digital if you think about it. So it's kind of just a mind shift, a skill set shift, et cetera. And then, of course, there's a myriad of technologies at our disposal, and they're changing and evolving and improving all the time. And so it's really looking at what are the right technologies for your specific strategy, and then building your stack your way. So really, the exciting thing about composable architectures is it enables us to pick and choose various components that best suit the objectives of your strategy. And having the flexibility if one component is falling behind in terms of giving you what you need, you can easily swap that out for another component. And it keeps vendors such as ourselves on our toes, because we need to make sure that the components that we offer are, of course, the best, and so that people don't swap us out.
Yeah. I know we want to kind of dig in a lot more on the tech side, but I wanted to give a quick plug because I know you were on a recent webinar with CMS Wire where you had gone deeper into kind of the organizational structure and talking more about the team, and we'll kind of park that maybe for a whole nother topic. But I think it was very insightful there in kind of picking up on this idea that it's not an afterthought, that there isn't one team that owns the digital first or digital marketing in your organization, or you're thinking that it's pervasive across all the different functions, me included, right? And the types of the thinking, but then the output. So for sure in our show notes, we'll have a link to that webinar and want to showcase that because there's some really good things there, but also have you come back to talk more about just the organizational part. Because just as you said, that's a really, while there's a huge technology component to how this all happens, it's the team that makes those decisions, make those investments, and really ultimately kind of drives the machine. So I want to dig in more to the tech side of the equation and ultimately kind of get to composable DXP and, where that kind of fits into the equation. But start first just with investments in general and what we're doing, what you're kind of hearing within the broader CMO community. I know you're very plugged in, from that perspective. And I think you have some data that you can kind of share with us as well, Austin, maybe if you want to just bring that up. But when we look at everything that a CMO and the marketing team can invest in, how does investments with tech stacks kind of shape up? Where does that kind of rank? And for you and kind of what you're seeing across kind of other industries?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I did want to share this data with everybody, and it's from Deloitte. And it's from a recent survey done just at the beginning of this year where they surveyed CMOs and asked them where they were going to be investing the most for this year. And even in a very, economic adverse climate that we're in, unfortunately, you'll see that the number one thing that CMOs said that they're investing in is new digital platforms and technologies. And so I think that that's really interesting. And I think it echoes how I look at the investments that we're making in marketing at Contentstack. When I looked to build our budget for this year, I looked at what was working, what was the ROI and different marketing spend last year, and decided to invest much more heavily in digital this year. And so that's not only from a digital staff or digital media spend, but it's also from a technology perspective. In fact, I think we've chosen to acquire 2 additional pieces of technology this year that we didn't anticipate initially, but the opportunity presented itself, and it really made strategic sense to invest additional in some technologies that I wasn't even planning to as I built the budget. So, I think that CMOs will look for the budget if they see the value in it and it aligns with their strategy. I certainly am constantly looking at new technologies as well. And then I wanted to mention one other bit of research that just came out from Forrester, where they also surveyed marketing people and asked about their investments in digital. And you will see a LinkedIn post that I posted yesterday from a blog that Forrester published, showing very high investments in the marketing community in general in digital for this year.
Yeah, not surprising. Austin, you can take this down. This is great. We'll make sure that in the show notes we have links to the Deloitte and the Forrester reports. I think those are really interesting. Maybe if we peel back, because it's still a big category around tech is a category of investment and it's kind of rising to the top. Talk to me a little bit more about just composable DXP, or maybe not maybe that explicitly, but what do you see that's changed in the technologies that are now at your disposal within the marketing team? And how is your ability to kind of mix and match and pull from this or that you like and see, like, just tell me a little, because I wanted to understand a little bit more about just the availability you feel the technology has now kind of made itself to you and to the team, the flexibility it's given you.
Yeah. When I look at, the composable architecture and the composable digital experience platforms, it really gives the marketers and the developers, for that matter, great flexibility to choose the components, the best of breed components that really fit, again, your business strategy. And and build your stack your own way to meet those very unique objectives. So if personalization is critically important to you, there's choices to plug in there that offer different pros and cons. There's localization extensions, there's digital asset management, DAM technologies, et cetera. And so depending on your prioritization and what it is you're trying to achieve, you have a lot of different options to put together. And I think that the really amazing thing about the composable is that it improves our ability to respond quickly to changing market conditions, to create content at a greater velocity in record time, to reduce development time and reduce publishing time, and being able to create content and publish it to multiple different mediums, omni-channel, with a few clicks of a button versus having to go through heavy duty development every time that you want to do that. So, I think that it's just really opens up the world for us to make us more competitive, give our customers a really great, digital experience, and the ability to flex and change and adapt as things, but as things evolve and competitive, meet competitive pressures and so on and so forth.
And I know, you were, actually a customer of Contentstack before you came here. So you've lived this before.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're kind of spreading the word right to the broader set of industries that we serve. But you've seen this. I mean, first.
Yeah. I mean, it solved some huge pain points for us where anytime we wanted to, add additional content to the site or new capabilities, it was a huge development effort, which, was painfully slow. And so we were able to greatly enhance our ability to empower users to create and publish content without involving the development community, of developers on the team, and really letting them do the high strategic things versus just, figuring out how to post new content, right? So it was really a really exciting technology when we came upon it, and we were, an early adopter, quite frankly. So I'm really excited now to be part of this company.
We're happy to have you. I'm curious what, in your travels with other, conversations and meetings you're having with CMOs, is this more and more of a common conversation? It rolled off your tongue so smoothly. Composable DXP, DAM, is this more and more the vocabulary, the vernacular that you're finding within the CMO community, or?
I think it's getting there. I think we're still a little bit on the, I think, early adopter, but we're, about to get into the, more into the mainstream, right? Crossing that chasm. I don't think we've quite crossed it yet because it is a new way of thinking. And, so the market's becoming educated, on it. And, things like this, Contentstack Live is a way for us to educate people on the value and why they should be looking at it. But we certainly have seen our business grow. So we know that it's really taking off, and there's a whole, ecosystem of solutions out there that are all part of this composable technology space. And I think that the writings on the wall. I mean, the other thing that the Forrester blog said is the end of the monolithic CMS, and it's giving way to composable. So I think that those who are adopting it now will be having a competitive advantage, and those who aren't could potentially get left behind.
Yeah. I mean, right. Call it what you will, wake up call to action. But I think, right, there's clearly, we're seeing it in terms of the kinds of conversations we're having with customers. It's being echoed in the analyst community as well, that you need to kind of give a rethink around this. And this, as you've shown, is like a big part of the thought process, the organizational structure, and then the investments that you're making, right? So it's a big deal. So for others that you are speaking with, what kind of guidance do you provide, to, your peers and others that come to you? Because a big part of, what we're trying to, I think, dimension is, as people go composable, there's the developers that are doing a lot of the building. There's the business users that are going to really be in this system, but there's a lot that is needing to be understood at the C level, the C-suite about these investments, the direction, and I mean, there's terms that are being fluting around left and right super fast. So how do you help people kind of think within the C-suite about, especially, I mean, you're coming to the CFO of the executive team with an ask for something that is wrapped in all sorts of terms and who knows if they understand them. Austin, I think you actually had maybe there's a prop there that we can maybe speak to, but yeah, I'd love to hear just the guidance you provide when people believe in the composable is kind of the next step for them to take.
Right. And I think, just to address your first thing in terms of selling it to the C-suite or explaining it, I think, keeping it in business terms is the most important thing to do. And by the way, the reason we get these benefits is it's a new approach or a new technology, but really keep it at a business level. And I think as you're looking at your digital strategy and what investments you want to make, it's just kind of like taking stock of where are you today, where are the soft spots, where are the opportunities, and how do you want to, plug in those holes or jump on new opportunities. And then, of course, we talked about the people side of things and determining where your people are on the journey as well, and investing in getting the right team and the right training, so that you are able to take advantage of new digital technologies and strategies and be successful because you've got the right skill sets and the right mindset in order to do so. And then looking at your tech stack, and I mentioned that we're continuing to look at that on a weekly, if not daily basis, and reassess, like, is the technology that we have serving us well, or should we look to swap it out, or are there technologies that we need to invest in to augment it so that we can have competitive advantage and evolve our strategy and support it. And then in terms of selling it, right, it's at the end of the day, any investment you want to make, you want to show that there's some sort of return on investment, whether that's helping you make more money or helping you save money, or ideally both. I know that seems a very simple equation, but it really kind of comes down to that. Are we going to save money? Are we going to make money, or are we going to do both? And here's how we did the math and got to a conclusion that it would be a good return on investment for our company. And then, of course, we need to partner with IT as well. There's going to be, developers and IT folks that are going to be involved in any sort of new technology decision, embedding it and making sure it meets certain standards that are, typically in place for any organization in terms of security and privacy, and how does it play with other systems, et cetera.
This is great. Well, again, we'll have this in the show notes as well. But I think this is super helpful to get people just kind of wrap around, like, the thinking that you have and that which we can kind of apply, extend out to the broader community. There's a number of different topics that you were kind of touched on that we'd love to have you, come back, share more. I know we do a lot with campaigns and various digital initiatives, microsites and stuff, and all sorts of great stuff. We'd love just to hear in terms of the role that the technology is kind of playing, the benefits you're seeing, and super exciting. I know we have, we'll get a little bit more time, and I know there have been a few questions that did come in. So, Austin, what do you got on your side?
Yeah, we got a couple from the audience. First one, looking into your technology crystal ball, what are you most excited about?
Oh, there's so many things, but I think a couple things that are front and center are AI. Now, you can't pick up any sort of digital newspaper or digital publication without hearing about ChatGPT or Google Bard. It was even on 60 Minutes last week. And so I think that there's some really exciting things going on with AI that we're looking at as part of our solution that we sell, as well as looking to use internally within our marketing team to help generate content. So that's super exciting. I think that there's automation technologies as well that are very exciting in terms of automating certain workflows and integrations, et cetera, to make that time to market much quicker on the development side. that's very interesting. I also think there's some really cool things going on with localization that we're investing in right now. So if you are a global company and you want to reach a global audience, there's some very exciting technologies leveraging AI, by the way, that help you translate your content insights at a very, very fast clip.
Another question, Austin, that you might have?
Yeah. On the AI front, what marketing use cases are you seeing emerge?
Well, I think, for generating content, there's some really exciting new tools out there to enable you to, feed in a few ideas and how, or have it ask it questions about, hey, I want to write a blog about such and such a topic, and it will spit out, 10 ideas for you. And then you can take it from there and continue to feed it information, and it will actually, do a first draft of a blog or an outline or whatever. So I think that using that to just generate content, whether it's blogs or, everything, you could help generate a press release, etc. I think we have to be careful, though. It's not perfect, and it's, I don't know that it ever will be. So you do have to review it to make sure it's accurate and it is in your brand and in your voice, etc. So, but it's definitely a Kickstarter for generating more content and at a higher velocity in really short periods of time. So I think that's one of the most exciting things.
Yeah, we actually had Connor on an episode talking about what we're doing with Chat GPT and our AI assistant. It's amazing just how quickly the industry is moving, how quickly vendors can move to integrate the technologies. And then just to hear how quickly it's being played back by CMOs like yourself that are knowledgeable, not only knowledgeable of it as a technology, but are now becoming very well versed in the use cases that are actually helping their business. So it's amazing just the speed. And now we're, by the time we're done with this, we'll be at Chat GPT 4. By the time this thing gets posted, like the clip of innovation is phenomenal.
Yeah, we've been talking about AI for years now, right? And it seems like this year is the year that has finally hit the scene in a big way.
Yeah. With that's everything. That concludes this episode. I really want to thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know you're super busy, but this has been really insightful. And for you all out there, thank you and see you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Be sure to check out the show notes for relevant links and content. To learn even more about the power of going composable, head to contentstack.com.